I remember thinking, like, seriously, they are insane. And in that moment, I was already scanning the store for the nearest exit. Like, I was looking for the nearest exit. No time to waste. But here is where I truly commend Wahida's maturity. She noticed my tension almost immediately, like I was tense. Then she sensed she might be going too far, and in an effort to ease the moment, she casually mentioned that, "I know not all the items are mine. I am also not financially buoyant. I have she was just throwing excuses, and that actually helped me to calm down. But from that point, I became unusually quiet. Like I barely spoke, just looking. I just want to get away. So as we stood in the payment queue, my mind began to wander. Different scenarios, different perspectives about her ran through my head. Things I couldn't voice because at that point they were nothing more than assumptions. Things that you and I, like now, whatever you're thinking, that was what I was thinking then. Still, one thought kept returning. How do I tell her that I am married? Like, I don't know. I just want to be civil in a way that I will just give her some information, like messages, without sounding desperate or sounding weird or sounding strange or trying to look bad or trying to just make something out, like be dramatic. So I was just trying to, you know, process. I was just trying to have a matured mind here. Like, let me be calm. And that was 2018 we're talking about, not now. Now, this thing cannot happen to me. So I came up with a coping mechanism. There was a man standing beside us in the queue wearing three-quarter trousers. I will never forget. I just glanced at him and said casually, that's exactly like my husband's trousers. I knew my husband doesn't wear such trousers. I only said it to pass a message that I am married. So she didn't respond. And there was no comment, there was no emotion. See, Wahida is a person you can't actually, she's like unreadable. So all she did was just glance briefly at the man and then return to admiring. She was just admiring the pictures I took on her phone earlier, like as if she didn't hear me at all. Then, just as it became our turn, the cashier began adding up our bill. So she was helping like bring out the items that we bought. That's when she broke the silence and asked calmly to me, like she was now saying, "How many kids do you have?" She was not even looking at me. She was just asking. I wasn't expecting that. Like I wasn't expecting the question, but I then answered immediately. I said, "Oh, two boys, two boys." Then I said, "What about you? Do you have any?" I just asked her, not wanting to ask directly if she was married. So I just said, "Do you have also? Like, do you have also?" Now said three, two boys and a girl. So she just said it calmly. She was not looking at me. And at that moment, I felt an unexpected wave of relief. So she paid for the items with her card. And outside, I suggested we take a cab to Deirah police station because Deirah police station was close to my hotel and close to the spot where we met. So instead, she just asked of my hotel name and then suggested that she drop me off because her friend was not even going with us. She had somewhere else to go at that point. We entered the cab and immediately I just hold on to my 50 dirham because this time I was going to pay for the cab. So immediately we arrived at my hotel. I just I just gave out the money to the driver without asking the fare. So she noticed that and she just smiled like, okay, if that's what you want to do, it's fine. The driver returned some change to me, but I cannot remember seriously. I cannot remember the amount. So we both stepped out of the car and she asked the driver to open the car boot. And I realized she was taking out everything. I just felt like maybe she would just pick maybe one gown or shoes just for me and that. But I saw that she was offloading everything. So I assumed she might be just stopping in my hotel since she mentioned it wasn't far from hers. So after offloading everything, she suddenly got back into the cab and said, "It was nice meeting you, Bernard. Thank you." I don't understand. I was confused. But before I could say anything, the cab just zoomed off. I didn't collect her number. I didn't know the name of her hotel. I didn't know her full name. All I knew was her name, and she was from Kano State. Kano City. So I looked at the luggage, like almost 25 kg. Hey, Bena, you don't suffer today. I look at my hand, the money left was even less than 50 dirhams at that point. I let out a heavy sigh. and walked into my hotel. So my sister and my niece were awake, like they were getting ready to go out. And my sister almost immediately, if you know her now, she snapped questions at me. Where did you get this? You know, I don't want to say she was suspicious, but she seemed so sensational. And my niece, on the other hand, was just trying to see, Auntie Bena, what did you buy now? Auntie Bena, hey, Auntie Bena, you have money. And oh my goodness. Those are sweet memories. I miss Dubai, seriously. Like crazy. I really miss Dubai. Funny enough, being a businesswoman, my sister was quite interested in the items, but we had no time, no space, and not enough money to get them. So they left me at the hotel and I slept off with the misery of who is Wahida. They just left to hang out too before our departure time. So I woke up around 6 p.m. I prayed and called them. Like I just called them on the phone and they told me they were informed me that they were at a restaurant close to Al Haramain perfume shop. When I arrived at the restaurant, I couldn't find them. So they told me that they were inside Al Haramain shop, which was next door, like to the restaurant. So I waited, finished eating, and then after then I just informed them that I was at the restaurant. And then immediately I finished eating, like I was almost going to meet them. Then my niece now came in. Like she just rushed and said, guess what, Auntie Bena, your friend is here with us. I said, who? And she now said, Wahid. I was like, how do you know Wahid? I was speechless. I had doubts, but lo and behold, it was Wahida. She was already in deep conversation with my sister, as though they had known each other for years. So when I entered the shop, we locked eyes and I said, you're stalking me. Now I believe you're stalking me. And she just started laughing. Funny enough, it was even my sister who had spotted her passing by. But from how vividly I had described her, my sister was certain it was the same person and called her attention. She just said, my niece, she like my niece, call her name, call Wahida. Just say Wahida. And she just turned around and she knew I told her that I was also with my sister and my niece. So she wasn't surprised as well. She wasn't surprised. That was how we spent the entire night together. She promised to accompany me to the airport and we didn't take her seriously, but if not for Wahida, we would have missed our flight. She came to our hotel at 2 a.m. and woke us up. Yeah. She followed us to the all the way to the airport. I don't like goodbyes. But I smiled when she said, this is not a goodbye. I now told her I work at the airport. Since you travel a lot, we might meet someday. I'll call you, she said calmly. And I think I turned around twice to look back, and Wahida was still standing there watching until I disappeared. You know how a protocol officer would be waiting for a VIP to disappear before going back? That was how she stood there. Like, in my mind, this girl. At that point, I wouldn't say she was a stranger to me because there was an instant connection. I really, really liked her. She was kind, she was generous, she was beautiful. Yeah, this is how we spend 14 hours in Deirah. If you love this story, tell a friend to tell a friend, and kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all social media platforms. My name is Benazir Ahmad, aka Phat&Phabulousdiaries in Deirah, Job Adamawa. Thank you.